dancehallsoca.com. New thing. Move your bumper, girl. Your bumper, girl. Shake your business.
Time big up dancehallsoca.com.
Dancehallsoca.com for all the people.
Alive. Dancehallsoca.
Dancehallsoca.com, cause you don't know when young child say something about a website, it's serious. Dancehallsoca.com to the flipping world, alright?
This is Dancehall TV. And right now, say don't go nowhere because the only TV to watch. Soca, dancehall. There you go. Nikki B said that. Give me the book, my bang.
When you see Chrome and big shipping at the party, we make every girl get naughty. And every girl want way, they must shake up them body. Chrome and big shipping at the party, we make every girl get naughty. Every girl want way. Hey shawty, girl, I'm loving your style, loving your smile, makes me lose my mind all the time, yeah. Girl, let me feel your body, move your body, groove your body. Let me please your body, get naughty. And let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up. Girl, let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up. Hey girl, some other girl time up. Let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up. Girl, let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up. Hey girl, love how your body design up. Girl, bubble, you feel bubble, girl, bubble, don't stop. Hey girl, when you wind, make you the contact. Hey girl, come in on a muscle contract. Catch me on the ship, come in a ramping and a shop. Girl, tip on your toe, girl, bend your back. Hey girl, tap it then you pick it up back. Hey girl, kick it like the time in the clock. Then me have to take it from top. Let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up. Girl, let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up, let me see you wind up. Hey girl, some other girl time up. Let me see you wind up.
Reggae style, why? Because it's the reggae ride. You know what I'm talking about. And tonight is all about the big show at the Palace. I cannot wait. Downtown Hartford is going to be on fire with all of the latest and new talent, as we call it. The next generation of reggae and dancehall will be in the building. And right now, I'm hanging out with Chino McGregor and Steven the Genius. Welcome to the show.
Yo!
I love it. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with Chino and Steven, let's just take it one by one and start with Steven. Now, Steven, you are one of the, if not the youngest producer out of Jamaica. Give people a little bit of background on some of the rhythms you produce and how long you've been doing this.
Wow, alright, let me see if I can try some of this up really quick. From 05, early 05, late 04, from the cartoon rhythm to the Red Bull and Guinness to the 12 gauge power cut. From fast forward to now the smoking rhythm, the street swag, triple bounce, crazy things.
And for those who don't know those rhythms, smoking rhythm is long distance Stella, dumper truck, and the triple bounce would be the Vegas, Gallus, and those songs there. So you said, from the cartoon rhythm, a lot of people don't know that was one of your first rhythms.
Yeah,
how old were you when that one was done?
I was like 14, 15 that time.
Now, how did you come up with a rhythm at 14, 15? One that is not just any rhythm, it's a rhythm that you had some of the biggest names on. How did you come up with that? How did that start?
Basically that time, I was fooling around with production from like 12, 13, thereabouts. So by that time, I guess my skill had matured a little bit. So by the time the cartoon rhythm came about, and I got some links in the business with some artists like Elephant Man and stuff like that. So that was kind of my breakthrough from that point.
And I have to bring it up. I know you guys love avoiding that whole topic, but I have to bring up the fact that both of you are actually descendants of a very great reggae artist, Freddie McGregor. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I know you guys don't like to base your careers off of that. But, being that Freddie McGregor was your dad, I'm pretty sure that had a lot of influence in your production, or was he there when you created the cartoon rhythm?
In terms of production influence, not really. We do totally different music from our dad, of course. But my father, of course, is just one of those persons who is always 150% behind anything that we're doing. So, he just basically laid the foundation. He wasn't literally there in the studio while we're trying to produce these songs or anything, but he just there behind us 100% and be like, we can go for it, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Now, when was the first time you voiced your brother here? Tell me about that studio session.
That all weird.
I don't think we can remember that.
You can't or you don't want to?
No, more than likely, the first song we recorded, we probably can't find it or don't remember it.
That'll be some serious vintage right there. Now, Chino, I know, you really, when you started in the whole entire artist celebrity business, you were more of a rapper of sorts, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, now tell me about that, because being in Jamaica, who were your big musical influences? Like I said, I heard you wanted to be more on the rapper side, so how did that work?
It wasn't a matter of wanting to be more on the rapper side. I mean, at that time, as you know, hip-hop was very influential in Jamaica. You understand? I mean, I was about 15 at that time when I was, that was my style. And I had my first hit single when I was like 15, still in high school. So, I mean, I was still searching for my, my niche and my sound. You understand? So, that was my comfort zone at the time. You understand? I mean, I was still growing physically, mentally, musically. You understand? And I mean, eventually I found my own song, which still has a hint of, the hip-hop flavor mixed with the retro reggae sound, because you hear my music, you hear a lot of melodies, but at the same time it's deeply lyrical.
Do you remember that first song?
First hit.
Yes, the first hit song.
Leg of the Boy. If I remember it, no, I cannot sing it back for you.
He knows that's where I was going with it, right?
The archives.
Oh man, well, we're gonna have to dig that song up. But Steven, now you're producing. You've produced for people like Movado. You've produced for Vibes Cartel, like Donya, Elephant Man. The list goes on. And you've also done some work with some hip hop artists. Is that not right? Can you talk about that at all? Any of the work you've been doing on that side?
Yeah, I mean, some of the more overseas works. I mean, I did some stuff with Matisse Yahoo on his last release. Did some sessions with Neo. I just recently did some stuff with Nelly Furtado. So nice. couple things like that in the pipeline. I was just setting up the stage for stuff later this year and early next year.
What was it like working with Nelly?
Cool, actually. She's one of the coolest persons out of all of the names I mentioned. I mean, she's just a free-flowing person in the studio, just vibe. Same vibe like Jamaican artists, just there in the studio, chill out, joke, whatever, and we just get to it.
How about Neo?
Yeah, I'm cool too.
Okay,
this vibe has a lot of persons.
Alright, just had to make sure,
Yeah.
Now, Chino, I mean, From Morning, that song right there, I think it's been one of the most influential. Maybe I'm wrong, but as far as I know, that song was being played everywhere, and including it got some plays on some pop stations.
Yeah.
Now, tell me a little bit about that song. How did that one come about?
I mean, just us, being creative in the studio. We always try to think outside of the box. Not being restricted to that box or what everyone is expecting musically. So we went out the box for that one, definitely. That song is very relative. Everyone can relate to that song. You understand? Everybody. And it's very melodic and catchy. So everyone, even if you don't speak or understand Jamaican patois, you understand, you can still sing along with it. That's the beauty about that song. And it's real big. It surprised me. No matter how old, that song may get, it's still fresh, still current. You understand? Even in Japan last year, that song was like, or is, very huge. That was the top selling single for 010 in Japan.
But speaking of Japan, you also released an album in Japan. Didn't it go #1?
Yeah.
How does that work? Can you speak Japanese?
Actually, I did a full-length Japanese version of that song.
Oh, I gotta hear it.
From morning, but the line I need you hustling. Tamarul and Tenshilana. From morning, none of them will use it. Will never ever change. Man.
Oh my gosh! See, now I can learn a little bit of Japanese because I know the real lyrics. I'll just, compare.
Yeah.
But when you heard that song went #1 in Japan, what was that feeling like for you, honestly?
It's a good vibe. I was somewhat prepared for it because when I actually went to Japan, and did some shows and promotions there, we actually got to see, the real love from the fans. We saw how big the fan base was there. The first show we did when we landed there, we got like 30,000 people. You understand? Everybody was singing every single line of every single song. I was the only featured Jamaican on that reggae festival. You understand? And every show we did was sold out. After every event, people lined up with purchased copies of their CDs for it to be signed.
Keyword, purchased.
Yeah, purchased. Because I mean, Japan is one of the few active markets that actually support the music.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of like really buy the music. You know, so the fan base in Japan is really huge. You understand? And we give thanks for that.
Why do you think that it's so hard for people to actually purchase music in other places, like even in the Caribbean or even sometimes in the US?
I mean, internet definitely. You know what I mean? Things are, you know what I mean, easily accessible via the internet. You can, you know what I mean, bootleg stuff. But I mean, all of that, I think all of that is kind of cutting down now. You know what I mean? People are, you know what I mean, hip to iTunes now, so people will go to iTunes and download the music and stuff like that.
They'll support a little bit more. I think that also helps with the Twitter and the Facebook when you guys are more interactive with your fans.
Exactly.
Yeah, they like that. You know, you got a couple of stalkers. I watch your Twitter all the time.
Oh, yes. You know the Twitter stalkers, they don't know.
Even though, you know, as the youngest producer, I think you are the youngest producer in Jamaica, I mean, do you get a lot of, you know, just bad feedback from maybe the older veteran producers who kind of feel like, oh, this is a young boy, you know? Do you get any of that?
Well, I mean, put it this way: in any field that you're in any business that you're in, as long as you're doing something that's being recognized, you're going to have negative feedback, and that negativity will grow along with your career. So the bigger you get, the more negative people have to say. But I mean, so there's always a bit of that. But I mean, you just have. I'm just confident with what I'm doing. I know that I am trying to do something good for the whole industry. So I mean, I just keep focused in that direction. I mean, if I really take the time out to listen to what everybody has to say and to try to address every single issue that everybody has, I mean, that would be me wasting time and not doing what I need to do. So.
Now I gotta ask you, because you know people want to know. They want to know if you want to talk about it. Please do. Why is it? Why is it that you've made, you know, the business decision not to do any business interaction with Vybz Kartel?
I mean, it was just some little disagreements on the business side. I mean, we kind of just, in a nutshell, we just don't really see eye to eye on a certain level. I mean, and Kartel is aware of my whole business setup, and I mean, it's not really something that you can order alone or anything like that. I mean, I have my own business setup. We have our setup as Big Ship Music. I have my thing as the Genius. You know what I mean? It's not really it's a business at the end of the day. So we have to be professionals about it, and it's just like one of them things.
Yeah. Now, you went from producer to becoming an artist in your own right. That song, Can't Friend Again, I'm telling you, my dub plate kills up every single party I play it in up till now, you know. So tell me what made you decide to break out that shell, because a lot of people don't know, and I'm here to tell you, he does not come out the studio. You barely would see him in a party, but all of a sudden now you're on stages, you're performing, and what made you make that change?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't really say call it a change really. I mean, I've been usually doing those type of stuff, but it was just more in the background. I mean, the whole Can't Friend Again thing came about with obvious issues that everybody knows about now. I mean, it was just one of those things where it was just expression. I mean, it was expression that I needed to get out. I really couldn't give that song to somebody else to sing. I mean, I just wanted to get it out and express that. I mean, I wasn't really bargaining for it to go #1 or be the biggest song ever or whatever, but I just needed to get that out. And I mean, the fans accepted it and it was well received.
So from there you were like, all right, I'm going all for it now, right? So for people who are listening and they may not be the biggest dancehall or reggae fan, what would you say are some of your biggest songs that you produced? Not rhythms, songs. I know there's so many, right? Even the Sean Paul, watch they get them bro. You know, all that. But what were some of the biggest ones?
Oh, well, like you mentioned, Sean tracks like What Together Bro, So Fine. Most of that album what Sean did. The Mova, the What Am I Do track that went to the Billboard. Wow, so much I can't remember. That video always on my mind. Wow.
Believe me, the catalog is deep. Trust me. Google them. The catalog is extremely deep. And like some of the newer rhythms, Street Swag, you know, and Winnings rhythm and stuff like that.
Now, one, Pepper.
Oh yeah, the Pepper.
Yeah, Pepper.
Pepper. Okay, another one. All right, but you know, when you come up with your rhythms, do you have like some kind of ritual you go through, like, or do you just you're sitting somewhere and all of a sudden you just start hearing things? Like, how does that work for you?
No, I mean it's never usually a set procedure for me. I mean, most of my hit rhythms and hit songs come from just me being in the studio with no intentions at all and just vibing or something like that, and I think it just comes from there, you know what I mean?
And how do you have your ear for talent? Because I remember one time when I had my little rhythm, you know, the march out, the Z March, and I remember you brought an artist to me by the name of Brahma. And I remember sitting in the studio going, why is Steven making me voice this kid?
Yeah.
Like, and I remember thinking that. And then now you turn around and you look back and you hear Brahma, and he has one of the most authentic voices. You know that voice when you hear it. How do you really see talent? Like, what do you look for when you look for talent to voice, new talent?
Well, I mean, well, like you mentioned earlier, I've worked with basically everybody, all the majors and all the forefront players in dancehall music. So I mean, I guess it's a feeling thing when it comes onto the sound and stuff of our artists. I mean, you can feel something different in different artists. I mean, I can hear an artist that probably never recorded a song before, but you just get that feeling that probably that person could contribute something good to the music. So just one of those things.
Well, you definitely have a good ear, and people do say that the studio you recorded, the Big Ship studio, has some kind of weird acoustic, you know, kind of mystical spirit inside that studio. So if you ever get a chance to go to Jamaica, try and stop by. You might not get past the locked gates, but try and stop by. Now, Chino, you're on tour, you're doing it big, #1 album in Japan, and you're still, I consider you, a new dad. How do you balance everything? That's awesome, by the way.
That's so new.
To me, it's still new.
Newish.
Newish.
How do I balance?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really difficult. Even prior to me being a dad, I'm always a family-oriented person. So, you know what I mean, it's easy for me. You know what I mean? But still always balance music and family time regardless. So it's not hard.
And she's got a comedian for a daddy, so she's one lucky little girl. So before we wrap up, though, is there anything you want your fans out there to know? And your new upcoming fans?
The album, Chino from Morning, May 24, 2011. You know what I mean? This will definitely be something groundbreaking for Jamaican music. Yeah. I mean, it's not your typical reggae or dancehall album, which is like a compilation of singles that are already up there. Obviously, a few of the favorites will be on it, like From Morning, Protected, Woman for Name, Rough It Up. You understand? But for the most part, there'll be exclusives. You know what I mean? Stuff that nobody ever heard before. And believe me, this will be groundbreaking for music. I can tell you that much.
I can see it in your face. You look real excited about the whole situation. You're like, it's going to be groundbreaking. Can we get a piece of something?
Yeah, alright. Tell you what, the first single will be out probably in a week, so you'll definitely be the first album.
Okay, that's not what I meant. I meant something live. Can we get a piece of something?
Something live? How much time we have?
Tons of time.
Tons of
If you
time?
want to do the whole album, we can sit here and record.
Let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you about Tim, one time kingpin, bigger than filthy, rich him did stinking. Bag of sinting, champagne, bling bling, cognac and bubbly, the whole crew drinking. Yeah, big that's not the court game, motorcade, him and him crew. Benz in a boat lane on top of the world, that him yacht and him boat name him girl when him buy out, she sick with the coach game, private jets. Him and her fly around the world, she get pregnant, bring forth a boy and a girl. Him know the more drugs him sell, the more people live less, but him coulda give less. Him don't have it said the same way, him buy out him girl and him friend them at the same way, him coulda buy forgiveness. Fast forward a few years,
Run off.
enough nigga joke, enough crack pipe burn off. Him don't have it said the money can't done off. Every other week a new shipment
Come off.
Him best friend did a move weird, so him shell him out, but him never know say prior to that him sell him out. So him make a one flight, couple key wrap tight. When him land the dog, them sniff and smell him out. Now him in a cell a meditate a look pan life. Liar tell him it no good and him a look pan life. Him girl never visit him, she never show up. She find another that she the dad's took fine wife. She can't help it, she get hooked on the life. The son get big and get hooked on the pipe. The daughter sell it, man a joke out she tribe. So all who a prefigure look on the hype. Remember God not sleep.
Oh my gosh!
Sleep.
Chino McGregor, the performance is going to be happening at the Palace downtown Hartford. Steven, now for everybody out there listening right now, let them know why they cannot miss the show tonight.
Why them can't miss the show now? Alright, cause Big Ship a sail through and you know them a shell through.
Yeah, the whole turn up team come in. Just check it back with Shell on New York. Where was it?
Boston.
No, we're in New York. We performed in BB King's in New York.
Yeah, BB King.
Shell it down clean. Last night was Boston.
Crazy last night. Crazy.
Wow, Boston was off the chain. I mean, I don't know, I think man shortage there, Boston,
Yeah,
man. I like it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everywhere out here.
Yeah.
Welcome to Connecticut, ladies. Come on out.
So I know Connecticut, you know what I mean, will be no different. Well, let us shell it, man, because you know it's the genius, Chino.
We are gonna make the girl them wine up, hey girl.
I was gonna ask you to sing that too. If you want the rest, you gotta come out tonight. It's all about the Palace, downtown Hartford. Itana, Gabby Ranks, Diva McGregor, Chino, and the whole crew will be in the building. Plus London. Yeah, it's gonna be real crazy.
Yo.
So we're gonna roll out. So you guys get the last word.
Last word, the album May 24th, 2011.
Yeah.
Chino from morning, make sure you get it. You understand? Make sure you come out a little more when we have the chain. You understand? Girls, bring it, come make me rough it up for you. You did a certain song, I got to love you. Little more, make sure me see you. Chino.
Your body good from morning, and it a go stay so forever. Me say me love you, my baby. Girl, I force up, me no see them there. You know me love your smile. Me for have you all the while. Girl, you too cute. Me and you look so right.